Battersea, Wandsworth Road, but it's more closer to like the Stockholm side of things. You know, Wandsworth Road leading towards Vauxhall.
Yes.
Got, like, Lansdowne, right next to the McDonald's.
Okay.
So that's where I grew up majority of my life. But I did move to Surrey for a couple years.
Okay.
And then I moved back to Battersea again because it didn't work out for us when we lived in Surrey, innit? So I just didn't fit in. I was known as that hard nut from London. Like I had a skinhead, like dad had a skinhead. They got me in a school down there. Literally the second day I was there, all the country boys, they play rugby and innit? Yeah. Some boy thought it's absolutely funny to do a rugby tackle on me. I don't play rugby, we play football in London. My man done a rugby tackle on me, I had to bash him up.
Yeah.
I had to bash him up, bruv. And they come round to my mum and dad's house. And my mum said, Lou, what have you done? I said, you've done a rugby tackle on me, mum. And my dad was trying not to laugh, innit? My dad said, come here, pretending to tell me off and that. But I just wasn't fitting in up there, you know? So we had a lot of other trouble with police and involved with my dad. So we moved back to Battersea anyway. I lived with my nan for a few years. And then dad was in and out of prison these sort of ages as well.
What age would you say that you actually noticed or realised that it was actually prison your dad was in and out of, and not? Was you always aware that it was prison he was going to?
I was kind of always aware of it, you know.
Did you get told? Oh yeah, dad's gone to the army. You know them stories.
Dad's gone Belmarsh. That's what I was getting told. Dad's gone to the army. Dad's gone to Belmarsh or Brixton. That's what I was hearing. Yeah. So them prisons, they stayed in my head. Brixton, Belmarsh. I remember my mum used to take me on the buses, trains, dragging me to prison visits and that.
I find it interesting you said you didn't fit in, because mum would argue and say that obviously you're from England, born in England, Caucasian, look white as far as I'm concerned. So when you say you didn't fit in, would you say that was more of a class issue or more of the fact that the way you spoke, the way you dressed? Why didn't you fit in when you went to Surrey? Because I find that interesting that even in this country you felt that you wasn't wanted there.
I moved there when I was between 10 and 13, and their way of having fun was totally different to mine, whereas I'd probably go around and smash a car window and think that's funny, or I'd climb in someone's house. Or, you know, like hey, these kids in the countryside,
the way you just dropped that
in. These man were on camping and all that sort of stuff. They're making camps in the back garden, they're putting their tents up.
You want to be a Boy Scout?
But I don't want to be laying on the grass and that. Them man just building camps in the back garden and that. I'm not on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when I used to play, we used to play like run-outs, running around the estate, knocking on people's doors. Bruv, I remember knocking on someone's door. They stood at the door. They didn't know you've got to run now. they wasn't aware this is the part where we run. I said, what are you not doing? We've got to go. So yeah, I wasn't just fitting in. I was just having quite a lot of fights up there and that, you know. And I realised in the country it was quite.
What age was that? Sorry, because obviously, when did you move to Surrey? Sorry.
When I was like 10, I was up there for like 3 years.
Okay.
So I done like my last year in primary school. Then I done like a year and a half of secondary school before I was kicked out. They actually suspended me because my hair was too short. Because obviously by these ages, my mum and dad are cutting my hair, aren't they? So I'm just getting a 0.5 all over.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. Yeah.
Straight barlid.
Straight barlid, and I got suspended because my hair was too short and it didn't fit their program at the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to wait for it to grow back. But see up there, it was cool to be intelligent. See all the smart kids and that.
Okay.
They was the cool kids.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm the bad one, but no one really like respected me like that.
Yeah.
Like,
so would you say that it was technically the opposite when you was in sort of South London, that it was cool to be the naughty bag and troublesome, but when you was over there, it was kind of frowned upon to be disruptive?
100% it was that.
Okay.
Like as soon as I moved back to South, I went to a centre in Tooting called Francis Barber. So like people get kicked out of school and stuff. Yeah. Once they realised my behaviour started to get a bit better, then Dad's gone back to prison again. And then they got me to a proper secondary school called Southfields. Yeah. That's where I met a few mutual friends with you guys. But it was too many people in my class. There's like 20 men in each class, whereas the centre, there's like 6 of us in each class. So I had more one-on-one times with the teachers. Got to Southfields now, there's like 20 people to a class. I just weren't fitting in, bruv. Like the workload was all mental and that. Like see the maths class with Mr. Stanley, yeah? See every time Mr. Stanley used to do the dirty, bruv. Every time we used to start a lesson, they'd make us start a test. I'd done 2 pages of work in the whole year in that class. Yeah. In the end, he thought, you know what, I've had enough of this guy. He used to let me sleep throughout the whole session. Yeah. He never used to wake me up because I used to get the right ump with him if he did. In the end, he just left me sleeping throughout the whole lesson. Yeah. 2 pages of work in the whole year. But
didn't they send reports back then, or was your mum and dad not aware of the fact that you wasn't wasn't progressing in.
Your dad went back to prison in that period, didn't it?
Yeah, my dad, he was so in and out. He wasn't probably aware. My mum only tell him so much, whereas my mum would let me get away with a lot of stuff anyway. Like I'd lie to my mum, oh, mum, school wasn't on today, so I'd walk back home or whatever, knowing school is on. So I used to get away with a hell of a lot with mum.
And how much influence, or how much would you say your dad has shaped your growing up? Because it's almost, being from South London, I guess you kind of had semi-cool points for your dad being in and out of jail. As in, if you tell someone, oh, my dad's doing a 9 or a 10, it's not frowned upon. It's almost like his dad's a hard nut, so therefore I'm not going to trouble him. Also, how much would you say it shaped you growing up? And you've done a few naughty things. Yeah. How much would you say it shaped you?
It shaped it up a lot. Like everyone knows my dad ran the estate. Like he's looked after a lot of people. People very aware of what he was about. So when I used to look up to my dad, I know what he's about from a young age. I know he's going out to do armed robberies. I used to think my dad's Superman. I used to think, oh my gosh, like my dad does everything. He's so strong. Like he's got money. I used to look up to him. I didn't ever see anything else. Like, you know, him going for a day's work. I've never seen my dad do a day's work in his life. So what he was doing become normal to me. Like if he come home and there's like a few quid there and it made me count it, that's all normal to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing with my mum. My mum, she worked in the pie mash shop for a little while. That was tasty. See the pies in that pie mash shop? See the top of the pies? That's proper crispy, you know. That pie mash shop, the ones in front of it, is puff, I promise you. But apart from that, my mum didn't work. That's the only job she ever had. So me looking for a 9 to 5, not seeing my mum and dad going to work, why am I going?
Would you say that at what point would you say your parents were aware, or when you say your mum primarily was aware of what you was doing? And when I mean aware, because I've done crime, just that I never got caught. And I believe that my mum wasn't aware of it because I had a job to kind of mask it. But my question is, at what point would you say that your mum was fully aware? Because sometimes parents know what's happening, but they just kind of think the best of their son. But when would you say your mum was aware that, okay, he's in it full time, like he's...
I'd probably say around 14, 15. You know, like as a 14-year-old and you've got a new push bike or something, you've got your new Trek or your new Specialized and that, or new trainers. My mom's probably thinking, where's Lou getting this money for to buy new trainers? She probably knew deep down. And it didn't take long before the doors started getting kicked in and that after that anyway, because I've got an older brother, so we used to...
So how many siblings you got?
I've got 2 other brothers, little brother and older brother. So like me and my older brother used to work together, just doing a bit of green and that around the estate. My mum was pretty aware because I used to buy her lots of nice things and stuff and treat her, look after her. So she was half alright with it. Like obviously she don't want me doing it, but she knows she can't tell me no.